Hello, so as from the title you can see I'm talking about White Lines. This is a new Netflix program that released on the 15th of May this year, so 2020, the disastrous year. So spoiler alert, if you want to watch it, go watch it because I'm going to be spoiling it, so that's the warning. Now, as you can see from the title as well, I wasn't the biggest fan of the show. I think that mainly comes down to it's just not the type of program for me. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad show that not a lot of people would enjoy, because I think there are a lot of people that would enjoy it. One of the main problems of the show for me is that it's just so dragged out. Like, I got so bored because it's so dragged out. It's 10 episodes. Every episode is over 50 minutes, and if like the time spent in each of the episodes was spent with actual interesting, worthwhile information, conversations, etc., then fine. But it's not. It's just really dragged out, and I just think no thanks. Like, another problem is a lot of the characters are so dislikable. The protagonist is so dislikable. She just expects everyone to accept what she's doing. Well, I understand what she's doing, obviously. She's trying to find out what happened to her brother, but except a lot of the things, like literally she was torturing people. She shot someone, which I guess that was justifiable because the guy shouldn't have been drowning the other guy. Boxer shouldn't have been drowning Marcus, but she shouldn't have been like basically torturing Boxer at the end. She shouldn't have stolen Marcus's cocaine. Like, she's just so unlikable, basically. That's it. A lot of the other people are unlikable. So Oreo deafens a guy. Are you serious? And they kind of just go over the incest thing really weirdly. I know incest in itself is weird, but they go over it in a really weird way. Then Axel himself is really dislikable. What you see in the flashbacks, Anna is really dislikable. Even before you find out what she did, I think she's just dislikable because she literally just cheats on her fiance, does whatever she wants, let her daughters do whatever they want. Like, she's a really irresponsible person. Boxer is okay. I mean, the killing of the two guys is easier to look over considering who they were, but he's sleeping with a married woman, so you kind of question his morals. I know he's not the one that's married, but he knows she is married, so he's kind of, you know. So, I mean, there's just lots of unlikable people in this. I think Kika's quite likable. Conchita isn't that likable considering she literally slept with her daughter's boyfriend and is allowing her son to get off over her. So literally no. It's just filled with unlikable people. That's it. And there isn't really anyone I'm rooting for in this. Like, I'm not rooting for Zoe because I don't like her. Like, obviously I want to find out what happened to Axel, but I'm not rooting for her to find out because she's doing it in such a bad way. And that is a big problem. Lots of, like, where it was filmed though was absolutely beautiful. Lots of the shots were beautiful. How it was directed was well done, I think. It's just the story wasn't that interesting as well because it's just so many things that are irrelevant. So many things are so irrelevant, and you literally don't find out anything that really happened to him till the last episode. Like, at least along the way you could find out a few. Oh, the thing she finds out is that there was some feathers in his lungs or whatever. There was water in his lungs. Wow, how helpful. Like, obviously that's helpful in real life, but it's just not that helpful. And I really don't believe that Anna and Marcus would be able to keep quiet about what happened for 20 years. I know that's the point of the story. I don't think they would be able to keep quiet for 20 years, and I don't think they would have done it so perfectly because they are literally teenagers as well, and they would have been a bit gone. So I really don't think they would have kept quiet, especially considering Axel was Marcus's best friend. And I don't understand how Kika would have never told someone that Axel slept with Anna. Like, what? I just think it's just a big mess. I just think it could have been thought out a bit better. But I do think there are people that would like it. I think my parents would potentially like it. Some of it's quite funny. I think the guy that plays Marcus is really good because he's just funny, you know. He's just funny and just really convincing what he does. The way he just gets panicked over everything. I think he is great. And I think a lot of the actors in this are very good, just their characters maybe. I don't know whether it's the acting or the characters, but they're just so unlikable. I cannot. This is a problem I have with Killing Eve as well. I'm going to talk about, is the season finale out yet? I don't know. But I am going to talk about Killing Eve because I have big problems. I have big problems with that show. So I just think a lot of it just isn't relevant. It literally just feels like 10 hours of nothing until the last 20 minutes when you find out what happened. Like, I was not hooked on this show at all. I'm one of those people that once they start a program, they are dedicated to finishing it, unless it is The Good Place. Unless it is The Good Place, I am not finishing it because I've already started watching it, so I may as well finish it so I can get an opinion on it. Do you know what I mean? That being said, it is not the worst program I've ever watched. What's the worst program I've ever watched? I will have to think about that. But it's certainly nowhere near as good as the best programs I've watched, including Money Heist. But I do give props to them because it is a good concept for a program. I love how they actually speak Spanish. In a situation they would speak Spanish. That is so important because in Killing Eve, for example, sorry, I keep going back to Killing Eve, but in situations where it's two of them that aren't their first language isn't English, they're still speaking English. In real life, that wouldn't make sense. It makes more sense for them to speak in a language. And I know Killing Eve being an English program, they don't want to have to use subtitles more than they have to, so when they can speak English, they speak English. But White Lines doesn't force this. When the family that Kiko, Oriol are in are speaking together, they speak Spanish because that's what they would do. Why would they speak English when their first language is not English? They all can speak Spanish, so why would they speak English? That is so important. That is more realistic in that sense. I was also surprised to see Kel Spellman in this because when I was younger I used to watch him on CBBC and he was like a kids presenter, and now I'm seeing here like him on White Lines saying fucking, covering up a murder. So I'm like, ooh, he went a bit off, didn't he? But I'm happy for him that he's gone into onto a Netflix program. That's great for him, honestly. In conclusion, I just wish some of the characters were more likeable. I don't know whether I'm one of those people that dislikes a lot of characters, because there are a lot of characters I dislike. I should do a video on characters I dislike that aren't meant to be disliked, because there are a lot. And the way it was dragged out, the main problems with it. Yeah, there are some good aspects about this, but the whole story in general wasn't that interesting as well. That the way he was killed, I don't think it was that interesting. Like, it was his friends that killed him. I just don't think that was a big uncover. It was a very anticlimactic, if I'm being honest. So that's it really. Actually, it would have been better as a film, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's my review, that's my thoughts. Please let me know if you have any thoughts about it, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.